Hello, you guys, and thank y'all for tuning in to this week's episode of the Journey Podcast, where I am your host, Kiara. It's always so exciting to spend time with you guys and hang out. Today is Thursday, March 19th. I hope that you guys had a great and safe St. Patrick's Day. If you are celebrating this weekend, I hope you can do so safely so that we can meet here again on Thursday. Um, But let's go ahead and get into this week's episode. I did want to start by sharing what influenced this week's episode. Um, I was looking at how I could be better for you guys. Um, I was listening to the last few episodes. Um, so just this season only, I was listening to the episodes just to see how what I was doing that I could do better, if anything, and how I could just I like to sometimes just listen to see how I've grown. And so while I was listening, for that reason and that reason only, I was getting into the message. And so I was getting into the message, and it was good. And I was like, wow, I needed that. I needed that right then and right there. And so I just was like, as I'm listening to myself talking, I've gotten over my voice. And so, as I was listening to myself talk, I was just like, wow, um, how many times have I needed me and I wasn't there for myself? And so, I need me a me sometimes, somebody that just, um, accidentally is there for others. And so, one thing that I've learned that is so big on this journey, is um, that it's so one of the hardest people to show up for. The only hard person it is for me to show up for is myself. It's hard for me to show up for myself the way that I show up for others. It's hard for me to support myself the way that I support others because I'm so focused on just making sure that everybody else is good. Um, and I've trained my mind to think that if I know what it feels like to not have somebody. I know what it feels like to not have support from others, and so I don't want anybody to feel like that. And not anyone that anyone, but especially not the ones that I love and care about. And so, if they don't have anybody, I take pride in letting them know and reassuring them that they do have me. And I take pride in doing that for everybody but myself. And so, how do I know how that feels? Why do I not want anybody else to feel that? Um, I believe in season one, I shared with you guys when I used to run track. Um, I ended up quitting. I was really, really good, and I'm not just saying that. Um, I got receipts. Um, I was really, really good, but I was discouraged because nobody would show up for me, and so, um, I already know what it feels for somebody to not show up. I already know what it feels like to not have somebody. So I don't want other people to feel like that. And so I show up for everybody without question, without second guessing, second thinking about it. I don't even think twice. I just instantly, oh, such and such needs me. I gotta be there. This needs me, that needs me. Sometimes I overstretch myself to be a million places where the times are overlapping just so that no one has that sense of abandonment. And so, because I've experienced that abandonment, it's not something that's foreign to me. It's not new to me, and I just, I take pride in showing up for others, and so I sat down and I asked myself, when's the last time I kept a promise to myself? When's the last time I told myself, "Hey, I want to do this," and I actually did it. Um Most of the time is like stuff with my kids, and so I'll be like, "Oh, well, yeah, just go ahead and sign up for that." I even went so far, like when my kids were younger, I told myself, All the things that I want to do, I'll just wait until they get older and I can invest all my time, all my resources, everything into them and only them. And my mindset was really just as in a mindset of no personal growth, where I was fine with just like me, um, getting and making the bare minimum and not like over exceeding. And as I grew, as I started making more, um, as my finances started making more sense, I started um making having more things for them to do versus including myself in and spreading everything um evenly amongst all of us. And so here I was in my car listening to myself talk, and I was like, wow, you know what? Look at me. I needed me. I needed me in the moment that I was listening to me for other reasons. And so, like I said, it's so easy to show up for others. It's so easy to show up for the job. It's easy to show up for the friends, the church, the family members that will call you when they need something. It's easy to do that. But when you need you, where are you? Are you showing up for yourself? And how are you showing up for yourself? Are you showing up for yourself like you would for someone else, or are you just giving yourself the bare minimum? And so I had to ask myself that, and I was like, girl, you don't give yourself a thing. I don't give my, I don't give myself enough. I can say that I have started doing like self care things where I'll do things like go get my nails done, my nails and my toes, um like the little normal girl things, and sometimes I'll even go out to eat by myself. Um, but as far as like keeping promises to myself, things that I want to do and investing in myself for real, I ride the fence a little bit when it comes to that. And so, I wanted to ask you guys, when's the last time that you kept a promise to yourself? What was that promise? Did you have a hard time keeping it? Was it a battle? Was it a battle? Cause sis be waging war. Okay, girl, you could do so much. This is me talking to myself, girl. You could do something else with that money. You don't need to make that big purchase. You can go ahead and use that money in case the kids. That'd be the first thing on my mind. Or what if somebody else just stop, okay? That's what I that's what I those are the that's the back and forth that I experience with myself. And so, um let me just kind of give you guys some examples of what showing up for yourself looks like. So, keeping those promises to yourself, that's number 1. Choosing growth over comfort. Um Resting when you need it. And not over scheduling, over booking yourself. Um Protecting your boundaries, so having your own back, standing up for yourself, standing up for what you believe in, um, and doing things even when nobody claps for you. Um, I think before I've shared with you guys the story about how why I quit running track when I was younger, because like I said, I was really good. Um, I was really good at it. But just nobody was there. Nobody showed up. I know what abandonment feels like. I know what it feels like for somebody to not show up for you. I know what it feels like for nobody to clap for you. I know what that feels like. And so, because I know what that feels like, I don't want anyone, especially not my loved ones, to experience that. I don't want them to feel that. And sometimes, guys, I go so far to even like be there for my kids' friends. Like, like I just to make sure they're like they know that somebody does care, somebody does love you, somebody, and I it doesn't matter whose kids it is. I don't care whose kids it is. If the kids are around me or they are connected to me in any way, if my children love them, um, I love them too. And so, my kids know that I have a soft spot for their friends. Um, Not all of them. They know I'll tell them, that one ain't right. And so I'm that mom. And so yeah. So some of the reasons why, and I wrote all this stuff down as I was thinking about it. Some of the reasons why um I haven't shown up for myself is for like fear of failure, fear of judgment, being used, um sometimes pouring into everyone else, lack of self-worth, and waiting until things are perfect, or they feel perfect. And so, like I said, I put myself in a, I told myself, well, I'll just focus on me once the kids get older. I'll do like all the extracurricular things. Like I want one of the biggest things that I've been wanting to do. Don't laugh. One of the biggest things I've been wanting to do is learn to play the guitar. Um, as a mom of seven, uh, I never really had time to learn to play the guitar. I did have an acoustic guitar for a couple of years that I picked up maybe like three times, and I just never had time because I always had a baby in my arm, or I was always we were doing virtual learning. It was around COVID time when I got it, and so I still want to learn to play the guitar. Now my schedule is a little more open and I'm a little more available, but I still was telling myself, I'm just wait for the kids to kind of get older and then I can kind of do that for myself. And so, um, here I am. I'm always pouring into someone else. I'm always pouring into something else. I'm always, feeding someone else's dreams or making sure that I have somebody else's back and I'm not having my own back. Now, I can't say that I don't have people that would have my back if I let them know that I need it, but I'm not the type of person that's going to reach out and say, "Hey, I need you." I'm not that person. And so if if nobody asks me, if nobody says, you can even ask me, "Hey, what can I do to support you?" I'm going to say, I don't know right now. If you don't say, "Hey, Kiera, I'm going to buy you a guitar and where do I send it?" I'm not, I'm just not going to say, "Hey, can you get me a guitar?" I'm just not. And so, that's just me. I don't, um, I don't really know how to ask for help. I can want help, and I like to say that one of my love languages is is someone taking the initiative to do something. But really, I think that that is just a cover up for the fact that I, um, I do not like to ask people for stuff because I struggle with rejection or the fact that they might say, "I can't do that for you." Or, and you know what? It's so crazy. It's a lot of people that just can't when it comes to you. But those same people that can't when it comes to you, you always can when it comes to them. And so, excuse me, that is another thing that we have to be mindful of. Um, we are pouring into, um, we're pouring into cups that can't pour into us, you know? And so while I thought that I had uh while I thought that I had something lined up to show you guys, I want to change the entire thing up. If you guys are looking at the visual, you do see the jars behind me with the pitcher of water. And I just changed the whole thing that I want to show you guys. Um, and so if you are listening to the audio, please, 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 when you do get a some free time, take a minute to check out the visual on YouTube. That way you can see what the fun that we're having today on tonight's episode. I'm gonna show you guys in a minute. So we are gonna come back to that. Hold on. Okay, this is gonna be fun. Hold on. So I was not prepared for this because it just came to me just now that I wanted I wanted to do this. So just a second. So this is you, a water bottle full of water. And so the water bottle is full of water. I'm gonna turn the mic up so it can hear me. Well, and show you guys. And so this is the water bottle. This is you. And here we are. This is others. And so here we are pouring into others. This is others. Here we are pouring into others. And we're pouring. Hey, I need something else. Okay, I got you. Oh, I need some more stuff. Oh, great. Okay. So here we are. We've poured into others until we're empty. And then when we're empty, others cannot afford to pour into us because we're pouring into people that can't with us. And so that roll of paper is people that just can't. And so while we had no problem with pouring into them, they have a problem with pouring back into us. They can't. They can't. They don't know how to manage what we gave them. They don't know how to they don't know how to keep up with, they can't hold what, you know. So everything that we're pouring into them, they need it. They're using it. They're burning it up. They're like, it's just going straight through. It's just going straight through them, because they aren't set up um to hold those things. They aren't set up to pour back into us. They're not equipped to do that. If anything, me pouring into them enabled them. It actually made them soft. So as the paper was getting wet, the paper was getting soft. Um, so here now the paper is all soft, and it's just now it's easily tearing, and it's becoming useless. And so here I was full at once, and now I'm empty because I sat there and I poured into everybody else. And so let's look at this picture. So I have these jars here. This is friends. This is relationships. This is work. This is church, and this is family. And so the water jug is me, right? Here I am. I'm full once again because I've taken the time. I know how to recuperate myself. I know how to replenish myself. I know how to recharge myself. But it takes a lot to do that. And a lot of the time, we do the work and we have to keep doing the work, and that's the cycle that we're in. So that's the cycle of where we just kind of are back at the same place, and it's exhausting. It's exhausting to keep ending up at the same place because you have to recharge because you've poured into everybody and everything else. And so let me get my friends some, building up my relationship. And so here everybody else is full. because of what I've done. And then there's me. I'm not even half full anymore. And so I'm getting light. And because I'm so closed off and I don't know how to ask for help, nobody can pour into me because I don't know how to receive. I don't know how to I don't know how to say, "Hey, I need to be refilled. Hey, I need help." I'm going to figure out how to this, I'm going to figure out how to replenish myself. That way, in case they need me again, none of them none of them are thinking about what does Kiara need? What do that jug need? None of them are thinking about that. They're full. So they're just happy. They're rejoicing in the fact that they're full. They're rejoicing in the fact that somebody saw them fit to be there for them, to show up for them. And then here I am. I've done I've done everything to show up for everybody, and now I'm almost empty. And so I don't have much left for myself. And sometimes for some people, it's everything outside of your house, and then you don't have enough for your household. That is not me. I do put my household first. Yes, yeah, that is definitely not me. Some of us will sit, I can say when I was little, I remember we used to spend so much time at the church. Um, and my grandma, she would just, oh, she would think that we would be so excited about getting something out to eat when really I just wanted to please cook. Can you cook? She didn't cook because we had been at church all night and we been at, well, we went from school and she was at work and straight to the church until 11 o'clock at night. Whatever's open, now we got to get scraps. We got to get whatever is left. We don't even really have options for real because we've spent our all of our time at the church. And so um yeah. And that's just that with that. We have to prioritize showing up for ourselves. We have to prioritize being there for ourselves and just making it our business to do that. Um a lot of things that I've been doing. I've been building my business. Me showing up for myself was starting this podcast, and continuing through it. I am, believe it or not, guys, I'm shocked that I even still post. I really am, because, it just takes a lot. It takes a lot. And this is me making time for myself. And so I actually enjoy this. I look forward to, recording. And so sometimes things get chaotic in my life and I have to push forward. And sometimes I want to say, you know what, no, I'm not recording. But this is something that I said. This is me keeping a promise to myself, really. Um, yeah. And so sometimes being a parent, when you're being a parent, it's hard to still chase your purpose because it's like you're so focused on these little people and their purpose and making sure that they see fit to fulfill their purpose in life. And so, yeah, showing up for myself, for me, it definitely meant starting things before I had it all figured out. And so, um, it's hard sometimes, and as hard as it gets, that is priority, guys. That's priority. That's something that we're not going back and forth with. Um, I want to keep one promise to myself at least daily, to do something that I said that I wanted to do for myself. I showed up for my job. I showed up for my relationship. I showed up for friends. Um, I showed up for people that call me only when they need something. But somewhere in the middle of that, I have to make that time to show up for myself. And I have to remind myself that, and sometimes I have to write it down. Hey, show up for yourself today. Sometimes I'll put a little reminder on one of my screens and say, make sure did you show up for yourself today? Um, and so, um, make sure we keep our promises to ourselves. And the truth is, a lot of us were never taught to show up for ourselves. A lot of us dealt with abandonment. A lot of us had to learn at a very young age that you are not that important. There are other things that are more important than what you're crying about right now. Um, and so, unlearn those things. As easy as it sounds, it's easier said than done for sure. But you are important. You are a priority. Um, you are priority when it comes to you. And so, sometimes showing up for yourself just looks like healing quietly. It looks like starting over, just not giving up. It looks like just showing up for yourself. And so, I challenge you guys this week to show up for yourself. Keep a promise to yourself. If you have a big purchase that you've been thinking about, just kind of laying on for a little minute, do it. Just do it. Just do it. I love you guys so much. With my whole heart, I do. I look forward to hearing feedback about this episode. Because I know a lot of us forget to show up for ourselves and love on ourselves the way that we do others. And I hope that you find peace in knowing that you are priority, you are important, and you are enough. And you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. And you are more than just what you settle for being. Um, and so, yeah, I love you guys so much. I hope y'all have a great weekend. Be safe, be kind, and tell somebody you love them. Bye.